This is my Lumpy Space Princess tutorial. So I'll be showing you how I created an LSP costume, and if you would like to make one too, you can just keep watching or adjust according to your preference. So to start off with materials, you're going to need a strong and durable material. I used interfacing, and I used about 2 to 3 meters of that. You're also going to need hobby fill or a synthetic stuffing that is usually used for pillows, and something you can easily get 500 grams or less. Not incredibly important, but a craft glue, anything that's good and can be used on fabric, is nice for loose ends, and if you're not incredibly fantastic at sewing like me. Most important though is a purple lilac coloured fleece, and easily need 2 to 3 meters of this also, and don't forget matching thread. You'll need a piece of black fleece for the face, and you'll also need a yellow see-through material for the LSP's famous yellow star. So that is the materials, and I think it's time to begin. With the interfacing or the material you choose to use, you can separate 2 meters and an extra meter on the side for the strips that will be used later. So with the 2 meters, fold it in half. Doesn't matter about which side's in, and you're just going to draw on your desired shape of the costume. And then you're going to cut to create 2 identical shapes. Now with the polar fleece, you want to trace what you've just drawn out as well on the polar fleece and add a few extra inches, which will be used later. And the more inches you use, the more puffier and more stuffing you'll need. So now you're just going to measure around each lump so that you can create these rectangular strips, which will be going around each lump. And I made mine 3 inches long, but the wider you make it, the more room you'll have inside. So that depends on how roomy you want it. And you're just going to sew it around. And yeah, just sew it around the hole. Do one side at a time. Glue is good for these kind of corners at the end. So now that you've sewn around, you've hopefully created a 3-dimensional shape like this. As I said before, glue is good for those corners if you want to, fill in those holes. It's also good to decide which is the nice side, and you want the nice side to be on the inside, where you will be, because interfacing has that iron-on side, and you don't really want that on your skin because it can be very irritable. So less irritation, put the nicer side towards where you will be. Now to create armholes, just measure where your shoulders and elbows are and cut a straight line, and that will give you plenty of space to move around in. Don't forget your eye holes, and a hole for your eyes so you can see, and where you'll sew a star on top with the see-through material. Now, as I said, with the polar fleece shape, you've created hopefully 2 identical shapes that are slightly bigger than your interfacing shape, and you're just going to sew around those 2 pieces, just around the edges. Make sure you score the insides there, and you're just going to slip it on top of the interfacing layer, the 3D shape, and you're just going to use hobby fill and stuff around until you're happy with your shape. Hopefully similar to this. And then you just sew on the face and the yellow star. And yeah, this is how mine ended up looking, and I really like it. So comment if you have any questions. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you want more Adventure Time tutorials.